Hello, my name is Diego Rojas, and this is my seminar presentation for the classroom research proposal. First of all, as a fifth year student of English pedagogy, I have learned a lot of theory regarding teaching and especially teaching a foreign language. For example, I have learned that it is fundamental for teachers to get to know their students in order to build a confident relationship with them, and also to create a good learning environment within the classroom. These aspects are quite fundamental to take into account, since if there is a good relationship between the teacher and the students, and also there is a good learning environment within the classroom, this would reduce students' stress levels, and in consequence they will feel more comfortable. They will feel more willing to participate during the lessons. Also, if students feel at ease inside the classroom, they are more likely to interact among themselves and with the teacher. Moreover, I have learned that there are different types of approaches and roles that teachers can carry out and assume. For example, there is this CLT approach that fosters the idea of using the foreign language as a means of communication, in which the teacher assumes the role of a facilitator, and the focus of the class is on the students. In other words, it is a student center. These are student center classes. And according to the Chilean national curriculum, the idea of teaching English as a foreign language is to use it as a means of communication. Therefore, it seems to be that this CLT approach is the most suitable approach to carry out in our Chilean reality. However, as a pre-service teacher, I have been in different I have been in different school realities, in which it is quite often to see teacher-centered approaches, in which the most important thing to do in the classroom is to memorize and to write the rules of a grammar structure. I have noticed that this makes students feel bored and not motivated to participate in the English lessons. Taking into account all these aspects, I have decided to focus my research on the implementation of more small group interaction activities in order to see its effects in regards to students' engagement in oral interaction activities. Um, um, the idea is to see if by implementing these small group interaction activities, students feel more engaged, more engaged during the lesson, and they improve their oral competence. Honestly, my whole life I have been interested in language itself. Um, in other words, I have been interested in how to acquire a language and how relevant is language for people. This interest of mine was reinforced when I had these subjects, which were introduction to linguistics and applied linguistics, because I have the chance to read people people that that was that knew a lot about language acquisition and the importance of language in human beings. For example, I could read I could read Vygotsky, Krashen, and Piaget, to name just to name a few, and all of them have had a great impact on myself and on my way of thinking. That's why I am very interested in implementing this research in order to see how language is developed, and how language and motivation is developed in these students that I have chosen, because next year I'm going to be with them, and I have the opportunity to meet them and to know how they are, and I hope that this research will make them improve in terms of engagement, motivation, oral competence. As for the data collection tools that I have chosen so far, the first that I have selected, that I have considered, is observation, because I understand observation as something that goes beyond looking at what students are doing. By observation, I understand that I have to be engaged and also to participate in different actions, such as listening, questioning, contributing, and in that way I could obtain meaningful and significant information from the respondents. The other data collection that I chose is interviews, because semi-structured interviews, because in that way I can be with the people that are experiencing this investigation or this approach face to face, and they can provide me with a lot of meaningful information, what they think, and in this way I can get to know how they feel in this real life situation. Because when you undertake this approach, you are observing, and because you want to make a change, so it is quite important to know how the subjects feel regarding this research. Regarding the research, and finally, I have considered also to use questionnaires, because they also are very useful in terms of obtaining meaningful information, and also they are less time consuming, since I can carry out these questionnaires to many people at the same time. However, I'm aware that when I have to be very careful when designing these questionnaires, because if I don't ask the right questions, or if I do not ask, if I do not write a good structure of a question, they could mislead the answers, and therefore I could obtain not meaningful information, and that will be a waste of time. Time is so important when undertaking research, that I have to be very careful when applying all these data collection tools. So this was my seminar presentation. Thank you for listening. See you next semester, hopefully.